Hello, welcome. My name's Alane Freund of Are You Highly Sensitive? An amazing community and series of masterclasses, YouTube video, basically everything I can possibly do to help highly sensitive people thrive with a special focus on youth. Today, I'm answering or addressing a question that I received in the email. Sometimes I do that, make little videos for YouTube or Instagram or wherever you may find this. Here's the question. Because there is a fair amount of trauma in my life, I many times feel fragile. But rather than keep quiet about those things that are traumatic, I've been trying to lean into the trauma by trying to talk about my trauma without bursting into tears. Do you have a better idea of how to confront this situation in my life? Thank you so much for submitting this question and scenario to me. I love talking about HSPs and trauma because we have a fair amount, and it's definitely an issue that we need to work on. And it's not easy. It just isn't. So what I'm going to say is we do need to lean into trauma, but this idea of leaning into it and talking about it while trying not to cry or not to become too labile or emotional about it or something like that is not actually a good idea. Use your strong emotional reactions as a highly sensitive person to actually feel those feelings, have those really strong trauma responses. Of course, you need to do it in a safe place at a safe time and with safe people, right? You need to be able to feel comfortable, to feel that you won't become too flooded by the experiences. I really want to say that I think almost all highly sensitive people have experienced trauma because we experience the world as traumatic sometimes. We live in a society and a world that is not at all designed to support and honor us. And so I really want to invite you to imagine that you are not alone. And that if you've experienced trauma, most likely you would benefit the most. Are you ready? From mental health support, a professional mental health provider. And, if you're seeing this video and you are a highly sensitive psychotherapist, mental health provider, and you want to comment, I would love to hear from you. What do you think about trauma? How can a highly sensitive person best navigate their trauma in the world? So this is a question that was submitted to me via email. And this person said that they often feel fragile, but instead of leaning into the fragility, they try to lean into being with the trauma and being with the pain. And so what I want to say is that you do need to lean into it. You need to have all those feelings and tell that story and write that story and talk to safe people. And don't try to hold the hard feelings at arm's length. Put my arm way out here. Don't try to hold it off, to resist the urge to cry or to have all your feelings, because when you do that, you shortchange yourself. You're having strong emotional reactions to the trauma in your life, and you need to work on it. I have a lot of trauma in my story. Many of it's quite complex, and some of it is very old, even from being a baby. And I've worked on it so much in therapy and mental health work and 12-step programs. And currently, I'm seeing an osteopath who's doing some osteopathic manipulations on me that are bringing it up again. No big surprises there, but I'm not closing my eyes or putting my hands up and saying, no, no, no. I'm letting myself tell that story. So how can you tell the story and have the feelings? Now, you can't go to the grocery store and talk. You can, but it's not really appropriate or safe to go to the grocery store and talk about your trauma. What is good and what is safe is to find caring, responsible people who can handle it. And if it's a friend or a family member, then you might say, I have something difficult I need to talk about. Do you have the capacity for that right now? So let yourself have all those angry and sad and scared and mostly grief that you have about your past trauma. Lean into those feelings. Accept that you will sometimes feel fragile from them. Get professional help and work on them. Now, people always ask me, what kind of treatment is good for trauma? Well, in terms of mental health treatment, the best mental health treatment comes from, you get it from someone who has been in the life knows about being highly sensitive. stumble on my words a little bit there because I'm doing this live and watching people comment and say hello. So if you find a therapist who really understands high sensitivity, that's a big step in the right direction. The other thing I think is really important for trauma support and trauma healing is someone who's literally trained in a technique that is known to help people process trauma. So maybe it's trauma somatic experiencing, maybe it's brain spotting or EMDR. Maybe there's just so many tools. But a therapist who is well trained in clinical psychology, has really done the work, and can support you in deep mental health work and also honors your sensitivity, that's the one to see. So I hope this is helpful, and I look forward to hearing more from everybody out there about how to manage trauma when you're highly sensitive. We're all working it, and it's a lifelong process.